it's surprising still when I meet people, they don't realize the diversity of the sharks we have. And here's just some photos of the different species you can find. One of the reasons we do have this diversity is location, location, location. New England is conveniently located right between the northern cold Labrador Current and the southern warm Gulf Stream, and it makes our waters really productive, makes for a nice nutrient-rich ecosystem. And in addition to that, it also has a wide range of habitats, from coastal estuaries to deep water canyons, benthic, pelagic. There's just plenty of habitat and just as many species to utilize them. In Massachusetts, out of the 8 orders of sharks, I don't have time to get into them, but out of the 8 orders of sharks, we have 5 of those orders represented in New England waters. And about 15 families, which is over 24 species of sharks. Unfortunately, I don't have time to talk about all of them tonight, so I'm going to real quick introduce a few, and you'll hear details on some of them as the night goes on. So the first group I'm going to talk about are the sharks that get lumped into the category sand sharks. The first of these is the spiny dogfish. It's the most abundant shark in our waters, probably the most abundant shark in the ocean, if you ask fishermen. It's a small shark. Distinguishing characteristics are 2 spines on each dorsal fin. Another small shark called sand sharks is the smooth dogfish. Now, smooth dogfish mainly stay south of Cape Cod. They like warmer water. They're about the same size as spiny dogfish, but they don't have the dorsal spines. And they also don't have very distinct teeth. They have pavement-like teeth, which distinguishes them from the third shark in the sand shark group, the sand tiger shark, which has the well-pronounced teeth. If you've been to an aquarium, you've probably seen sand tiger sharks. They're exhibited all over the world. A lot of you are probably saying, well, how's this? I know sand tiger sharks, they get pretty big. How are they lumped into the sand shark category? Well, as you'll hear in a little while, the sand tiger shark is making a comeback in Massachusetts and New England coastal waters and different estuaries, but we're only seeing juveniles. They're the same size as the smooth dogfish, the spiny dogfish. Fishermen who aren't used to seeing them lump them into the category of sand shark. It's important to know the difference, and here's a comparison of all 3: spiny dogfish on top with the spines, smooth dogfish in the middle with no spines, no teeth, sand tiger on the bottom with all the teeth. And the reason it's important to know the difference between these sharks is the sand tiger shark is a prohibited species, the other 2 aren't. And unfortunately, fishermen associate the name sand shark with the spiny dogfish, which is considered a nuisance and often killed. So we've unfortunately been finding these small sand tiger sharks killed by fishermen that consider them sand sharks. So now you all know you can take that information and go educate your friends and family members that fish. It's mainly striped bass and blue fishermen that come across these sharks. Moving on to the larger coastal and pelagic sharks, we have the sandbar shark. It's another southern shark, mainly south of Cape Cod. It is often confused with bull sharks, so every once in a while you'll hear a report that a bull shark was caught from the beach on the Cape. It's undoubtedly this shark. We do have a couple of recent records in Cape Cod Bay, and one of the ways I look at the shark is it has an oversized dorsal fin. It's tough if you don't see a lot of sharks, but if you see them in comparison, the big dorsal fin really stands out. Oh boy, this is a blue shark. Probably the most abundant big shark in Massachusetts. This is a porbeagle shark. You'll be hearing about all these in detail later, so I have the real easy job of cranking through this. The porbeagle shark is in the same family as the white shark and the mako shark. You can tell it apart by the white patch at the base of the dorsal fin. It also has a secondary keel on its tail. Mako shark, one of the favorites of recreational shark fishermen, very streamlined, fast shark, can leap out of the water, likes to eat bluefish. Large makos will eat tuna and even marine mammals. Moving on to some of the oddballs that we have in New England waters, the thresher shark, which is easy to tell from its long tail, which can be the same length of its body. It can actually use this tail with precision to basically stun its prey. And hammerheads, which we see scalloped hammerheads out in the canyons, out in the warm water. They're a shark that likes to school. And you can see them in this school of them in this photo. Everybody can tell a hammerhead because of the nice flat hammerhead with all the electrosensory organs for detecting prey. Moving on to the big three. White shark doesn't need an introduction. I'm sure everybody here has seen the white shark. Of course, the resurgence of the gray seal population is making them, the talk of the town here recently. Basking shark, second largest fish in the world. Often confused with the white shark because they share the similar proportions, but this is a filter feeding shark. It's only really dangerous to plankton. And then we get to the whale shark, the biggest fish in the ocean. A lot of people are surprised that, we do see whale sharks up here in the canyons in the summer months, and another filter feeding fish.